Little midweek update here. This occurred to me as I was watering the garden this morning, which I always do even if rain is predicted, because lately, even if rain is predicted, a lot of times we 100%, they're saying 100%, we don't get it anyway. So I watered the garden. Howden has been blooming this week. Started just a few days ago. And the plant is laying on its side because I just watered it, so don't worry about that. Something I thought I'd explain to you, because this is the question we get a lot on the Pumpkin Patch group, Backyard Pumpkin Growers Society. Over on Facebook, it's also on MeWe. Anyway, a lot of things that people, newbies, wonder about are the flowers. Excuse me, froggy again. Let's get rid of some of these weeds here. What you're seeing here are male flowers. And how can I tell? Because at the base, there's nothing but the base of a flower. And a female flower, you're going to see a little tiny golf ball type of a thing. Probably not even as big as a golf ball. A little round thing. And what happens is, when pumpkin vines start blooming, they start with male flowers, and it's said they do this to attract bees, and they will go on that way for 1 or 2 weeks, and then you'll start seeing female flowers with the little golf balls on the bottom. And what's going to happen is some of the female flowers will get pollinated by the bees. I do not recommend hand pollinating for beginners unless you have a severe, well-known bee problem in your neighborhood. But some of them will get pollinated, but then they'll die and drop off. Either that, or they'll just drop off without getting pollinated. Don't worry about that. That will go on for another few weeks. It's just the way it works out. Female flowers usually don't survive at first. And then, all of a sudden you'll wake up one day and you'll have a little pumpkin growing in the garden. So just thought I'd bring you up to date on a little bit of pumpkin flower lore. My pumpkins over here, the bush pumpkins, or the short vine pumpkins, have flowers on them but haven't bloomed yet. So they're a little behind Howden, which is not surprising because this plant was growing pretty well when I bought it. And these I grew from seed, and they started late. So yeah, that's our little garden outing today, and I'll talk to you later. Another thing I thought of, the single biggest question on either of those groups, the MeWe group or the Facebook group, Backyard Pumpkin Growers Society, I'm getting male flowers, nothing but male flowers, no female flowers. And it's mid-August, and you pretty much know that person's pumpkin patch is done if they live in Zone 5. Here's what's happening. A lot of people are buying things like Miracle Grow, which is a good product, but not for late in the season. Late in the season, you cut way back on the nitrogen. So that's why in my last video I was saying you need 2 fertilizers. You start the season off with a regular fertilizer with a high nitrogen, not high, but an appreciable nitrogen count, and then you work your way back to toward the end of the season. When the flowers start coming, I would say cut off the nitrogen or cut it down, and use something like Fox Farms with the first number on the label will be very low or non-existent on Fox Farms, and that's when you cut back to something like that. And usually you won't have that problem. Not always, but usually. People who plant their pumpkins in the lawn and then fertilize the lawn will have that problem all the time. But people who have their pumpkins in patches and don't do that are usually okay. That's the only way I can answer that problem, but it is usually the wrong kind of fertilization. Okay, talk to you later.